Hello, welcome to Robbo Land's Vids. My name is Rob Wheatley. It's been a while since I've done a video. This is quite a different video because I'm not demoing a guitar. What I'm demoing is these fingernails. All right, these are my natural fingernails. They are slightly longer on these three fingers because I use them for picking and doing that and with a thumb pick and bits and pieces. But they're very, very weak. I spent 6 years washing dishes in a kitchen and it's destroyed my fingernails. All those hours and hours with my hands in hot soapy water has just made them like bits of paper. So if I do any fingerstyle stuff, they wear out within seconds or split and they're just completely useless. And they just don't have a lot of mass for that all-important T word, tone, tone, tone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I go about fixing that situation, and it's done with a combination of things. A pair of glasses because I can't see, but I'm wearing a pair, so that doesn't matter. There's some glue in a lovely pink. I've got the lovely pink fixie nail glue, which isn't the best stuff on the planet, but it's it does the job for the moment. And I have a lovely selection of these, which are gorgeous. These are the Edge nails. I don't think that's anything to do with the U2 guitarist, but these. And these are what they are. These things. Look at that state of. Hang on, you can't see it. Look at the state of that thing. All right, that's just a big curly thing, and there. So first of all, what I have to do is I have to cut this down. So I will measure it on my thing there, and I have a pair of scissors also. So the first thing I need to do is to try and make this end a little bit more nail shaped. So I'll cut that into that shape. Can you see that? Good. And that should sort of fit roughly in that slot on my nail there. Okay, I apologise because the next door neighbour's having some work done. It's been completely silent here for months, and now I go and make a video, the first one in about 6 months, and all the drilling. So that's wonderful, isn't it? So anyway, that's the first stage, is to cut that sort of roughly so it fits on there. Now these are quite curvy and my nails aren't, so I now need just to take some of that curve out, and the best way to do that is with hot water. So I'm going to run it under a hot tap over here. Brilliant. That's run under a hot tap, and I'm just going to give it a little bend out like that just to flatten it out a bit. As you see now, it's a little bit flatter, okay, and that should match a bit better the contours of my fingernail. Wonderful. Let's dry that off. Bit of kitchen roll. Good. Perfect tear every time. Oh, I have a surprise for you as well. I don't know if you remember, anyone that does watch videos on this channel, I apologise profusely. I hope you can get tablets for that, but you might have seen a video a few videos ago where I had a really awful Strat style guitar that someone gave me, and I spent hours trying to fix it up, and it was an absolute pile of cack at the end of it. Well, that guitar has found a new home, and I will tell you about that in a bit if I remember. Okay, there's a bloody fly in here somewhere. Come here, fly. Fly, you bastard. Die, you bastard. Where are you? Spray! Kill! Kill! Where is it? As soon as I put the lid back on this, it's going to turn up again. There you go. No pleasing some people. First, next stage here. These are far too long for my nails, so now I'll put that back on there and give it a bit of a measure. And I need to cut some off. So let's cut off about there. I don't have particularly long nails when I play guitar. I have a friend of mine who has nails which are about 1/2 inch longer than mine and about 10 feet thicker. But that's, for his style, wonderful. Oh dear, I've absolutely bollocks that one up. But that's all right, doesn't matter for the moment because we're going to file that. So that's about right. And that just gives us a bit of a better thing to work with, okay? So that's it. My nails are generally only about that long, so I can just about see the tips above the tops of my fingers. That's about how long I like them when I'm playing guitar. I only have them on these 3 fingers. I don't bother with a thumbnail because I use a thumb pick, and I don't use my little finger apart from just balance and the occasional thing. So, great. What next? That's very smooth and ungroovy, so we need to make it groovy. So here's a pair of scissors. God, apologise for the drilling. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to score some marks in this. All right, just get that and score some of that so the glue sticks. All right. some random things in there, and I'm going to do the same on my fingernail. Yes, I am. So there's my fingernail, and there's a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to score some lines across my fingernail like this, just to give the glue something to grip onto. And I've filed these nails down because I've had glue on them, because I had a set of nails on yesterday, and I've grown out of them. So anyway, there's a nice sort of patchwork thing on my finger. Okay, that should just give the glue something to stick to. Now, before I put that on, I'm just going to remeasure that, and I'm going to just file this back edge down a bit, just to take some of the sharpness out of that. You don't have to have white nails. I did actually buy a whole load of clear plastic ones, but they weren't very tough. And even though these look quite strange when they're on, the other ones just look really grotty. At least these stay looking quite white, which is whatever. But the other ones, they just look really grotty. As soon as you start using them, they get scuffed up and they just look like you've got bits of mould on the end of your finger. So let's have a look at that. That seems to fit pretty well. Great. And I'm just going to trim down this edge because this is quite a thin thing. So it's just a matter of making all these to size. So I'm just going to cut the edge off that one. There we go. And do the same on that side, I think. Just get rid of that. Let us see how that now looks. Look underneath to make sure the curvature is about right, because you don't want any gaps. And that's pretty good. It's just a very long nail. So that's that. All right, so that's pretty much all of it. So I've cut and shaped that. Oh God, dropped it. And now comes the gluing part. I'm not going to do all of my nails. I'm going to do this one, then I'm going to do the other ones off camera, and then show you a before and after of how it affects the sound of playing an acoustic guitar, very, very briefly. So, what do I need? I need glue. There's my nail glue. And so I just put a nice dollop of that on my fingernail. It's where it gets fun. So a nice liberal dose of that on there. Oh, got it on camera, thank you very much. Idiot Wheatley. So a nice old load of that. And same on the finger, on the plastic nail. Obviously I don't need to go to the end. So again on that, I'm terrible. I'll never be on Blue Peter, would I? That's it. And then you slide the nail on, and then centre it, and then hold it down for about 20 seconds. So I'm going to hold it down in the centre for about 20 seconds, quite tough. All right, just going to hold that down there, so let it set. You can sing a little song at this point. Oh, not that song, because YouTube copyright strike. There you go, and then I'll press it down at the edges. Wunderbar. Oh God, I'm stuck to it now. And there you have a nail, perfect. Apart from, I'm just going to let that dry a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is cut it down and shape it. I just want that to set a little bit. While that's happening, I'm just going to do the other one. So what I'll do is I'll then, okay, let's just try and cut this down a bit if I can. Clip pause. And again, I don't want to take too much off, so I want there to be something on the edge. So let's just do that. I think about there. Yeah, and about there. Which gives me something like that. Yeah, and now I can just file that to shape. So here's a no file. I'm just going to file that to shape. So let's just do that. And usually I don't take too much off it initially. I get it to a rough sort of shape. There you go, like that. File off the bottom edges, and I will adjust these once I get a guitar in my hand. So I'd rather leave too much on there than not enough. And so there we have it, one perfectly normal looking fingernail. Isn't that wonderful? And yes, I know my normal fingernails are pink and this is white, but I don't think I'm going to paint them pink, personally. you know, it's a matter of personal choice, but I think I tend to leave them white, and I don't really care. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of other things people could take the piss out of me for. My fingernails are the least of my bloody worries. So. Excellent. So that's it. That's one nail done. It takes a few minutes, and now I'm going to shut this off and do the other ones. Hey, before I do that, let me show you what happened to the other strap guitar, because people were, well, I don't think anyone cared what happened to that, but I'll show you what I've done with it. And this is about the only thing it's fit for. Okay, so we're going to go outside, and there you go. I can't have. There you go. It's a nice garden ornament. Okay, so it sits outside my front door. Docks myself. It's a nice garden ornament. I'm hoping that nature will consume it. Excellent. That's all it's fit for. Back later. Before. Nails ahoy. So there we go, there's my set of nails. They still need some fettling, but here we go after. Lovely. Makes a lot of difference. The main reason I used to do this was because when I used to play gigs, if you break a real nail during a gig, then you've got to basically wait, you know, a week and a half, 2 weeks for it to grow back. Where at least with these, I could stick these on before a gig, and there was a lot less, other than them falling off and flying off and hitting people in the face, there's really very little chance of them breaking, snapping. And it's particularly when I used to play, you know, I'd be rehearsing like 3 nights a week and gigging maybe 1 or 2 nights some weeks. You can't afford to have nails wearing down and having to wait for them to grow back. So this was originally an idea given to me by my great friend Tim Whitnell, who makes his nails out of super glue and toilet paper. So you get little squares of toilet paper and then glue and then toilet paper and then glue and build it up like a fiberglass resin and then file them down, which is what I used for years. But more recently I've switched over to the plastic nails and done it look lovely. And if you really want to, you can paint them all sorts of colours and draw little smiley faces on them, because why not? Okay, brilliant, thank you. This is the first video I've done in a long while. There are reasons for that, and I'll tell you one of the reasons why. The main reason is because I've got the end of last year, end of 2024, I bought quite a few bits of kit. That was around the time, was it end of 23? No, end of 24, I think. Yes, because I was celebrating being alive because, you know, I got diagnosed with cancer the year before and I didn't die and I'm still here. So I was celebrating being alive and had some money and blew, and I bought like 3 or 4 guitars, a new amp, some electronics. One of the guitars I bought has proved incredibly difficult to review, and it's the one that I want to review next, and I'm in two minds how to do it, because there are certain things I like about the guitar, one thing I like about the guitar, and quite a few things that I really don't. And some of them are inherent with that particular model of guitar, and some are inherent with this style of guitar. I'll show you. That's this bollocks. Let's show you what it is. Let's come over here. So over here we have a selection of guitar edges, and the one I'm looking at is this one here, which is, no it's not, it's that one. I should just took it out, shouldn't I? It's hang on, I've messed it up now. God blimey governor, I was trying to be flash then. I'll get it over here. The guitar. I haven't done one of these videos for a while. It doesn't show, does it? I'll show you what it is. It's this one. This one. The Dan Electro Longhorn baritone. Boom. So I think I'm just going to bite the bullet, not the Fender bullet, bite the bullet and get on and do a video on this. It might not be this week because I've got to go and travel and do some bits and pieces tomorrow, and I'm probably going to be wiped out for a few days after that. But the idea is I'll get the review done on this. It's not going to be a very glowing review, all right? It's not going to be a very glowing review. Yeah. There are certain things about this guitar, one in particular that I really, really love about it, but there are quite a few things that I'm not very impressed with, or that just don't suit me personally. And one of those being the fact that it's a baritone guitar. Well, so you hope you can understand why I had difficulty reviewing this, because it's just going to make me look like an even bigger bloody idiot than I appear already. So happy days, eh? But until then, bong. If there is indeed a next one, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Cheers.